Good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for attending the monthly Oracle Integration Partner Community webcast. I'm Jürgen Kress, member in the Oracle Product Management team. In case you missed one of our webcasts, on-demand recordings are available at Oracle Video Hub, including presentation for download. In today's webinar, Stan will update us on Agentic AI and how you can apply human oversight. Good morning, good night, Stan. What time is it at your location?
12:30 a.m.
Are you drinking coffee, Coke, or what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a tea.
And the topic is so important, so you wake up in the middle of the night?
Haven't gone to bed yet.
Okay, so what is agentic AI and why is Oracle integration part of it? And
Well, yeah, so today we'll be talking about human oversight and how it can help you stay in control of your AI agents by applying governance. So I think will be an exciting topic.
so thank you for presenting in the middle of the night. And we have Subhani and also Ravi with us and Neil answering questions. So if you have questions, feel free to post them anytime in the Q&A. So Oracle integration offers agentic AI capabilities, and as part of the integrations, you can expose an existing integration as a toolset to an agent, and we also offer soon an MCP gateway. Stan will provide us details today about the governance you can apply in human oversight. Please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Please blog and tweet about services and functionality which is available today. Quick housekeeping, please feel free to post your questions via the conference Q&A tool or via LinkedIn. At the end of the webcast, we will answer your questions. Slides will be available at our Video Hub channel and community website. Please share your feedback via the Zoom survey at the end of the webcast. For today's agenda, I will kick off the webcast with some quick announcements and then hand over to Stan. And Stan, are you going to run some demos?
Yeah, I will. I'll show you a demo today.
Excellent, thanks. And we take your questions at the end of the webcast, so you can post them anytime in the Q&A tool. And some quick announcements. We are going to run our next product update webcast on June 18th. There you will hear more about the Oracle Agentic AI portfolio. So if you have not registered, please register at OIC June 2026. Definitely a webcast not to miss. If you want to try and learn more about Agentic AI, we offer hands-on labs. They will take place May 6th for North America and South America time zone and May 7th for APAC and EMEA time zone. Please register via our resource page. In case you cannot attend one of our live labs, we offer the trainings on demand. You can choose now for an Oracle Integration 3 Intelligence Expense Automation with Agentic AI training, which you can run at your own speed. And you can find them in Oracle Live Labs, and you can also see them via the documentation page. Please make use of the documentation, really good material. In case you missed our best practice series with Anthony Reynolds, it's a three-part series to create a new Oracle integration instance, to secure it, and some best practices for running projects. Please watch the on-demand webcast series on Oracle Video Hub. Like always, everything is published in a monthly newsletter. We sent out the April edition, so please read the newsletter and see the newsletter for links, best practice, and articles, blog articles, like, for example, Neil's blog and product updates. You missed one of the webcasts, recording will be available on demand, including presentation and slides on Oracle Video Hub. With that, we come to human oversight. So Stan, what kind of agents do we offer in the portfolio?
So the Oracle portfolio is quite rich in terms of providing you with platforms to build agents. So Fusion AI Studio, as you can see on the slide. Thank you, Jürgen, for giving me the hints here and not just giving me a blank slide. I appreciate that. But Fusion AI Studio, if you're a Fusion customer, that would be your center of gravity to extend the core capability of Fusion applications. AI data platform, obviously here, this is where you would build business intelligence agents. 26 AI Agent Factory if you're a customer that gravitates towards the Oracle database. And obviously we have one within Oracle integration.
So we have one in Oracle integration, and as our product manager for AI, what is the role of Oracle integration with all of those agents?
That you should use the one which is closest to your center of gravity. So we are agnostic as to where our customers build agents. We want to help them on their journey. by providing those agents the ability to extend them with enterprise data connectivity and some additional features, which we'll see today. So thank you, Jürgen, for the wonderful introduction. Today, I will be discussing two exciting new features that were part of the latest release of Oracle integration. And I think these two features are genuinely going to change how we build and govern automation workflows. So today we'll be talking about human in the loop and knowledge base. We'll be showing a demo which shows how both of these two can work in unison to deliver on a business use case. So before we get into the demo, let's just have some solid grounding in terms of Oracle integration and our story around AI. So when we talk to customers, three questions come up time and time again. Is an agent my best option? Not every use case out there needs an agent. Customers want to know when to use an agent and when it matters most there. The second is what framework they should use. As Jürgen showed on the previous slide, there's a lot of different choice out there in the marketplace. And the third one is how do I access my apps and data? And especially, how do I access my apps and data safely? Because an agent that can't reach your systems can't do anything useful, but an agent that can reach everything with no guardrails and no grounding in how your business actually works, that's a risk that most enterprises aren't willing to take. And that's exactly what we're going to focus on today. How do you give agents secure, governed access to your enterprise applications and data while grounding them in your business knowledge and context? And that's really where human in the loop and knowledge base come in. So, as far as our core mission for our integration team, it is really to deliver on three fundamentals. And these fundamentals are helping our customers connect applications and data to ground decisions, automating processes to turn intent into action, and helping our customers innovate to adapt and also adopt emerging technologies. And so, really, building on those fundamentals, Oracle integration supports our agents in three practical ways. The first is that we make agents smarter with data, and by that, all we really mean is that we help you ground them in governed enterprise context. Second, we make them effective with action, and that's really all about turning intent into execution through our unified portfolio of automation tools. And finally, we make agents reliable with predictability by, yes, combining deterministic orchestration with policy enforcement, approvals, exception handling to deliver repeatable outcomes. So, in short, Oracle integration provides a consistent way to connect agents to enterprise context, execute actions, and apply controls for predictable outcomes. So if we look at the data side of that equation, we make agents smarter with data by providing them a broad connectivity through our extensive library of pre-built adapters. So whether that's Oracle applications, third-party SaaS applications, databases, files, etc., these pre-built adapters ensure that you can connect your AI agents to pretty much any application within your enterprise. And then once these agents are grounded in the right context, the next expectation is to empower them with action. And we provide, this enterprise actions through our portfolio of automation tools. So, of course, integrations to orchestrate APIs and AI services. We have the recently released Agentic AI capabilities that allow you to expose enterprise actions and data as tools that can be used by any AI agents. Of course, we have RPA to execute tasks where UI interaction is still required, human oversight, as we'll see today, to manage approvals and exception handling, rule-based decisions to apply predictable and repeatable decision logic, and of course, B2B to automate transactions with trading partners. So really, this portfolio of automation tools gives you choice and flexibility to use the right tool for the right job. And this is where really, like, if you look at our investment as a product team, we've made a significant investment across the platform to make sure that our customers can go on this agentic journey with confidence. So whether that's supporting MCP for exposing integrations to agents, as I mentioned, the newly released AI agent features within our platform, orchestrating the ability to orchestrate AI workflows within OCI, as well as all of our AI assistant features, which allow you to, create integrations with natural language, configure activities, etc. Human in the loop, knowledge base, which we'll dive into in more detail. We released a whole bunch of features around RPA with self-healing robots and autonomous environments, and of course, Oracle Managed DR. And really, just to expand on that AI story a little bit, we've really leveraged AI or leaned into AI in our AI assistant story, and that's all about bringing AI into from discovery all the way to observability. From the ability to recommend pre-built solutions to you, to giving you the capabilities to build integrations using natural language or configure activities, testing, auto-generated documentation. We really just want to make it as easy as possible for our developers to build and build quickly at the pace that organizations currently demand. So with that kind of grounding of what our platform offers and our strategy, let's take a deeper look into the two features that we're here to talk about today. So let's first start with knowledge base. The problem that we keep hearing from customers was that the agents were giving answers that were confident, but actually just not accurate. And really, that just is because the agents weren't grounded in the company's actual data and had no intrinsic knowledge of the business. So knowledge base aims to solve that. It connects your agents directly with your enterprise knowledge using RAG. So responses from these agents can become accurate, contextual, and traceable back to a source. We'll see knowledge base in action in a little bit, but this is where you can really bring company documents such as company policies, FAQs, and any data that you think would really improve your agents in terms of grounding them with your intrinsic knowledge. And the second feature that we'll talk about today is human in the loop, and this one is really all about trust. Because no matter how good your agent is, there are decisions that need a human, things like approvals, exceptions, escalations. So anything where accountability matters. Human in the loop gives you that oversight natively with a full audit trail, so you always know what the agent did, what referred to a human, and what decision that human actually made. And these two capabilities together answer the question we hear most often: how do I know I can trust what my agent is doing? So knowledge base makes your agent accurate, and human in the loop makes your agent accountable. So this combination is what makes really the difference that we think is going to help customers take their agents from prototypes into something that they can put into production. So today I want to go over these two through a demo, and the demo that I want to talk about is a purchase requisition flow. So what we'll see is a simple agent that has access to a number of tools. So we have a tool to check for compliance, and we're going to check for compliance by referring to a policy document that we have stored in our knowledge base. So this policy document will tell our agent what our company rules are. The second tool that we've given our agent is the ability to determine who it should assign a human in the loop action to if approval is required according to the company rules. So we'll use a decision service for that. And then we'll also execute on the HRTL by assigning that task. So we'll show the new HRTL capabilities there. Now, if a PO is approved, what we should see is the agent use the create PO tool to create that purchase order in Fusion Apps. And then finally, we wanted to email the requester with an outcome. So this is the demo through which we'll show both of these two technologies today. So with that, let's jump into Oracle integration. So I'll start off here on our new homepage. So you can see our new homepage has changed. We now have a news feed in Oracle integration that lets you know of important things that are coming up. and new features such as human in the loop. So feel free to check this out when it is released um, to your instances. So I'll go into projects and I'll open my purchase requisition agent project here. So this is the one that we'll use to go over the two new features today. So we've set the context as to what the agent does. What I'll do is I'll take a minute to walk you through some of the new features. So the first thing that I want to show you is our knowledge base. So here I have configured a knowledge base. It's quite easy to do. You need to give it a name. You need to point it to a connection. In my case, I have an OpenSearch connection already set up. And you need to choose your embedding model. So we can go into this in a little more detail, but I've already created one and I have uploaded um, uh, a purchase requisition policy document to this knowledge base. So this purchase requisition policy is effectively simulating my company rules. So if I show you what this looks like, it's effectively just a Word document that has all the company rules around purchasing goods. Here we've defined what goods are prohibited. So things like alcohol and tobacco purchases. But it has the approval matrix based on department. So depending on the department and the dollar amount, we've actually specified if the request can be auto approved or what type of role is needed to approve it. So it's a fictitious document, but really the value that this brings is that it allows a business to simply update rules via something that they feel very comfortable with, such as a Word document, and our agents can refer to this and drive, the agent execution based off the rules that are defined by the business. So very easy to maintain, very easy to update. And then once that document is put together, you can just upload it into the knowledge base. So let's have a look at how we do that. So uh, to upload this document, we have a integration here that I will show you, which is our knowledge base ingestion integration. So the way that this works is you will take all your company documents and you would upload them to OCI object storage. This integration would run, it would pick up all the documents from that object storage bucket and it would ingest them into our knowledge base. And this is effectively what we'll use subsequently to search for any queries that come through our agents. Okay, so this is a once-off operation that takes the document, creates all the vector embeddings, and makes it available to us. Okay, so once we have that, our agent will use the knowledge base search integration. This integration is a simple integration that will take a query, usually from the LLM, and search it against our knowledge base, again, using RAG principles. In our case, we'll be using this integration to go and fetch our policy document and to see whether purchase a request from an employee meets the company policy or whether it needs approval. Okay, now the second thing that I wanted to show you is that we've used the decision model here to decide who to actually assign each approval task to. So if you recall back to our policy document simply had departments. This is effectively a mapping from the department to the individual person that will be assigned the task depending on their role. Now, in my particular case, I've just assigned myself, but you can very well imagine that this could be assigned to one or more users or groups. Okay, so this approval matrix that's in a decision table will really just allow the agent to determine who it needs to assign each role to. So the next thing that I want to show you is this human in the loop capability that we've brought in here. So what you'll see is that we have two tile cards available, one to create a workflow and one to create a form. So a form is really a supportive artifact to a workflow. Think of it in a similar way to how a connection is needed to create an integration. You will need a form to reference in your workflow, and really a form is nothing but the presentation layer that will show end users when we're presenting them with data from the agents. Now, in my particular case, what you'll see from my form is that I'm using a very simple concept. I'm using just two elements on my form. One to display the request that will be presented to the end user, and another element where they can provide a response in natural language. So we'll see this in action in a second. Okay, so then the second thing is, you can create a human in the loop workflow here, just like you can with an integration. I'm just going to clone this one just in the interest of time, and show you what the HITL workflow looks like. So the idea of the HITL workflow is that we have separation of duties, allowing functional users to define what an approval workflow should be. And once they define that, they can make it available to integration developers to reference within integrations. And then those integrations are what we can expose via tools. So in my particular case, you can see I have an integration that will expose my HITL workflow as a tool. But let me first show you this HITL workflow. So I'll just open it up. Okay. And so what you'll see is a very simple one-step approval workflow in here. So I've defined some input payload that I want to pass to HITL. I've also defined some output payload here, which I'll get back. So this is what I'll give my agent back. So who's the approver, what the outcome was, and what the date is. So very simple. And in here, I'm actually going to assign this task to a particular user. In my case, I'm assigning this based on a variable that's coming into the input payload that's really coming out of my decision model. You can assign it to a user, you can assign it to a group, you would link the form that we saw before, and then you would specify, the title that we presented at runtime to the user. So that's it. That's as simple as building an approval workflow is, and you can add one or more approval steps based on your needs. In my simple case, I just have a single approval task. So now that I have this, I basically have a core grounding of integrations that I need for my use case. I have an integration that will expose my human in the loop approval. I have an integration to create a purchase order, to send an email back to the requester, and I have an integration that will go and fetch my policy document from the knowledge base. So all of these integrations are what I've next exposed as tools in my AI agent tab. So remember, tools are effectively just a metadata layer over the base integration that allows agents to understand how to use them. So for example, if I open my human in the loop tool here, you can see that I have my input parameters. Those are the ones that we saw just before, where I've given the agent lots of description about each parameter, and I've even given it guidelines for the request description to give it to present it in a very particular way to my end users, which will make it easy for them to understand what's happening. So really, this is just the guidelines here that we're providing for the agent. So I've exposed all of these integrations as tools. I've also defined some prompt templates, and really prompt templates are my way of being able to show several different scenarios without having to enter a full payload here during the demo. But if I show you what my prompt template looks like, I've effectively hard-coded my specific prompt, but you can imagine in a real-life example, you would change lots of elements within this prompt to be variables, just like I have here for my email ID. And that allows us to have a consistent prompt that goes to the agent, substituted with variables where needed. Okay, so with those elements defined, the next thing that I have done is I've created my agent. So I'll show you what my agent looks like. You'll see basically that I've associated the tools and the prompt templates that I had, and I've defined my prompt. And basically my prompt effectively walks my agent through these guidelines. Go and check the knowledge base based on each approval request, see if approval is required, and if it is required, what approval level is needed. Also fetch any relevant policy restrictions. And then go down this path of, working out if approval is required, who it should be assigned to, assign that approval to that person, wait for them to come back, evaluate their response. If approved, then create the purchase order. Otherwise, just notify the requester. So that's effectively what my guidelines are here. Okay, so we have all of the components. So why don't we go ahead and actually run this agent and um, see how it behaves. So here, what I'll do first is I'll choose my auto approval policy. So basically, what we're expecting here is to see uh, a flow of the agent where it doesn't touch human approval at all. And the reason for this is we're requesting two low-level items, meaning that the total order amount is below the threshold defined in a policy document. And so we're expecting this to be auto-approved and not need to go to a human for review. And so what you can see here is as I run the agent, it goes and it fetches the policy document that we defined in our knowledge base. And then it is performing a review against the policy document. So it's saying here policy review complete. The request can be processed directly because it is within the policy limits and does not require approval. And then the next thing that it does is it goes ahead and it raises a purchase order. And in fact, it's already called the purchase order tool. And this should have created this PO right here, which we're seeing. And if I open it up, we should see the two lines that we just asked the agent for. And there they are. Two mice and one desk cable. So that's an example of invoking this agent without any human oversight and seeing it do its thing, checking the knowledge base, identifying that this request is within the auto approval range, and going ahead and executing the purchase order tool. Now I'm going to repeat that same that same request as before, and this time I'm going to show you a partial approval request. So let me show you what my prompt looks like here. It's effectively asking for two items again. One, however, is on our policy document as something that is prohibited from our company. Like, so here I'm asking to buy a case of champagne, and that's against the company rules, as well as I'm asking for one Dell monitor, which is within company rules. So let's run this time. And this request, I do expect it to go to the human approval step. So let's see how this goes. So again, the agent will go and will check the knowledge base. It will fetch the policy document. Now it should do a review. Okay. So it is doing a review here, and the reasoning will come in a second. It's full reasoning, but it's already worked out the fact that it needs to go and fetch an approver, and it's called my approval routing matrix tool to work out who it should assign this human in the loop request to. Okay, so let's just give it another moment. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I want to show you the observability piece of human in the loop that we've recently introduced. So again, if I go to my project and I go to observe, you'll see now that there's a human in the loop tab in here. And what we'll see is all of the human in the loop requests that have arrived. I can see one's just been created now. But before I open it, I just want to see that this is indeed okay. So I was expecting it to come up with another reasoning here again, just like before, showing me that it's evaluated the company policy and that it's requested, oh, that human in the loop is required. The agent didn't print all of the reasoning that I wanted, but it has done everything correctly. So it has triggered the human in the loop step for approval. So if I open this up, oh, you can see that. Let me do that one more time. I think what's happened is perhaps I put in the wrong email address into this, and that's what sent it down the wrong path. So I'll just do that. Okay, just give that one more go. And we should see it follow the same steps that we saw a second ago. Okay, so here we go. The reasoning is actually printed on this one, just like I expected. So basically what it's saying is that it's reviewed the company policy and that this request requires manager approval before a purchase order can be raised. It's then going ahead and identifying the right approval for the request, which in this case is me. And the next thing that it's done is it's sending the approval request to that assignee. So now if I go back in here, I should have one more human in the loop request, which is this one. That's looking a bit better. So you can see from observability all the different steps that have been executed. You can see the payload that has been passed and who it was assigned to. But you can also open that task up from there, and that will bring you to the specific task here. And what you'll see is a summary of the request. So what did we request? We requested one case of champagne and a Dell monitor. Um, it it will give me a summary of the policy document. So the policy document is basically telling me that I can't approve this purchase because alcohol is prohibited under my company policy. It's telling me that IT hardware and equipment falls within the company policy, so I should be able to approve the monitor fine. So giving me that full context of what the company policy says and making those recommendations right here. So this time, what I'll do is instead of um, actually selecting approve or reject, I'm just going to use a natural language example. Uh, Foundation. So I'm just going to say proceed with recommendation. Just using natural language here to interact with the agent and submit that. And then what we should see is that HITL should be approved, and indeed it has. You can see that this is just completed. So this is really the full audit trail of who approved what and when with what context. And if I go back to the agent, we should see the agent likewise continue, and indeed it has. It's actually called the tool to create the PO, and we now have a new PO that we can search for here in the ERP Cloud. There it is. And in this PO, we should only see the monitor line item. So remember, the original request had two line items. We only approved the monitor, which is what we can see here. And the request has actually received an email telling them why we didn't approve, the case of champagne because it was against company policy. I mean, I can show you that as well. And there it is. So really providing the user with the understanding of what was approved and what wasn't and why. So that kind of really rounds out our use case, really showing that you can use HITL when it matters, based on policies defined in the knowledge base, so really combining the power of, that intrinsic knowledge of your business plus the ability to introduce human oversight when it matters, to show you this end-to-end use case. So there's another two things that I wanted to show you here. One is if you do want to bring HITL into your workflows, there's a very easy way to do that. In your AI agents tab, when you create a tool, you now have the ability to select a recipe and you'll see that we've released at this point one HITL recipe that will bring in all of the needed components for you to get started. So we'll bring in a form, it will bring in a sample workflow, and the integration. So all you need to do is just configure your tool with the description that you need for those fields if you want to, updating the guidelines, and you can obviously expand the workflow to meet your needs. So this is a great way to get started, and I encourage you guys to all try that after the call, and share any feedback with us that you have there. The other thing that I wanted to show you is the same concept that we've shown you from how to create an AI agent in OIC using the knowledge base in OIC with HITL is again you can take to the framework that you use to build AI agents. So here I have an example of the same agent that I have run in Langflow. So it's exactly the same agent. You can see I've configured it via MCP. I've added all of the tools that we saw before. So these are my HITL tools, my PO, etc. So all of the tools that we had before, um, provided it to the agent with the same prompt, and I can now run it in a platform elsewhere. So, and that really speaks to the capability that we have around exposing our tools and letting customers build their agents wherever their center of gravity is. So that's another important point to cover there. So with that, what I wanted to do is just do a quick wrap up. So what we've shown you today is a taste of two of the new capabilities in our platform, the knowledge base and human in the loop. Um, we are, as a product team, working on far more, especially within this governance layer of agentic AI. And there's many really fascinating features that are coming from us. So we're working on MCP server governance, agent compliance, A2A agent orchestration, just to give you but a taste of what you can expect from us. But I really the message that I want to leave you with is we genuinely believe that this agentic governance area is something that we need to address for our customers to help them take these AI agent initiatives and feel comfortable and safe to deploy them in production. And we are investing heavily into expanding our governance capabilities to support our customers on their journey. So stay tuned into this space. A lot more to come with many interesting announcements coming up. So um, that's what I wanted to cover today. Jürgen, I can hand it back to you and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Stan. So you prove we can wake you up in the middle of the night and you give a wonderful demo. That was impressive. Thank you very much. So you have seen Agentic AI Governance Live, Human Oversight. If you would like to learn more, please register for the partner community to get the invite for future webcasts. We recorded today's webcast and we make it available on demand. For details, please see the monthly community newsletter. You can also visit our blogs and you can try it out yourself. In the documentation, you will find the live labs. And please watch the video that Stan pointed out on OIC governance. It's a video on YouTube, and attend the workshops. All links are published under bit.ly/linksoic. So Stan, we have plenty of questions. I'm glad that we have some time. So we will keep you a little bit longer awake in Australia. The first question is, which agents are available today and what is the use case for which agents? Should I go back to my overview to help you? So Oracle builds many different agents, and there are pre-built agents in Fusion AI Agent Studio, which are based on the SaaS applications like ERP, HCM, supply chain, or marketing, and you can use a pre-built agent. Oracle integration also feeds those agents with your enterprise data, with your own data, and applies human oversight, and you can extend those pre-built agents with Oracle integration. AI data platform is the business intelligence workspace where you can build your own custom agents. That's when you have a BI-driven, warehouse-driven use case. If you use an Oracle database, Agent Factory might be a good use case for you, a good choice for you. There you can build also your own agents based on Oracle database. And I would say the difference to AI data platform is that it's AI data platform is no, the database is more transactional agent use case where you want to store the data. And then we have a lot of AI services in enterprise AI, where you have also document imaging and scanning and recognition, and you can reuse those information and those AI services in your agent. Oracle integration brings all together. We feed the agents with the data, and we enforce the governance through human oversight, and we will provide a MCP gateway pretty soon. Do you want to add something to that summary?
No, I think that was a really excellent outro.
So, which of the agents are available today? Where do you think you can start today building agents?
Look, I think for our Fusion customers, Fusion AI Studio is obviously available today, and it is pretty mature based on my experience with it. So I think that's definitely a viable option. Um, I think our agent as well can serve those customers who have a center of gravity that's within Oracle integration just fine, and also help them with testing out their ideas. So those are the two that I use most frequently. But again, uh, it really depends on what a customer's center of gravity is, what their experience is, and what they're familiar with within the Oracle ecosystem.
Excellent. The next question is for Kishore from Sariayu. Sorry to pronounce it wrong. He would like to know, is there a way that he can leverage agents for Oracle e-business suite?
Yeah, I think this is a very classic kind of use case. We see a lot of customers, EBS customers specifically asking for, right? So I think we have a strong connectivity in terms of adapter, right? So EBS adapter and database adapter, which can talk to EBS artifacts, right? So having said that, so you can always build your integrations talking to these different kinds of artifacts that you build in EBS, and then expose them as tools so that now it can be served by via the MCP layer or maybe natively by an agent that you wanted to build in OIC. So yeah, OIC will become the MCP layer for your EBS concurrent programs or maybe REST APIs or whatsoever.
And overall, can you use different large language models for the different agents? And which large language models are available in the Oracle platform?
Okay. So in terms of right, so today in when you create an agent in OIC, right, so you can create a thinking pattern, which is React pattern or plan and execute patterns, right? So we support two kinds of thinking patterns. For both of these types of thinking patterns, customer can go bring their own key with OpenAI or Anthropic, right? So or else customer can go use the OCI Gen AI models. Could it be Grok or could it be OpenAI models and leverage the appropriate thinking pattern when they create their agents?
Okay. And the question from Casa is, how do you accomplish human in the loop in OIC? Is it through Oracle Process Automation or is it anything natively in OIC? And there's a follow-up question from another guest if process is replaced by human oversight.
Yeah, Stan, please.
Yeah, yeah, two good questions. So for human in the loop, we've basically repurposed our process functionality. So as you kind of saw through the demo, from a designer point of view, we have a completely new UI embedded within OIC projects where we have all of our unified lifecycle management capabilities. Um, so effectively, Human in the Loop is a net new product within OIC, but it is built on a lot of the core components that a human workflow engine would need. As far as whether it's going to replace process automation, uh, really, Human in the Loop is targeted for agentic AI use cases. It is targeted at providing human oversight for agents and serving approval needs and exception needs for them. It is not targeted to be a full-fledged BPMN solution, and that is not how we're positioning it. So I think the use case and the positioning of these two technologies is quite different. So really what we encourage our customers to walk away with this from and our partners is this understanding of positioning human in the loop for agentic AI use cases only.
And why do you need the human in the loop, and why are agents behaving like a 5-year-old kid?
Um, so you need human in the loop for a couple of reasons. One is because you want to build trust within your organization uh, to deploy these agents and to run these agents uh, in a way where you would realize the value of your investment. And that trust ultimately comes through retaining some level of control. Now, that control could be at key decision points or approval gates. All that control could be to have a human there to for the agent to hand off when it reaches a situation it doesn't know how to deal with. But that is the fundamental why. It's effectively a building of trust in these AI agents to deploy them to run them in production. As far as why agents are behaving like 5-year-olds, I think that's just a byproduct of their non-deterministic nature. But I do think that they are getting better with every release of the models that the labs produce.
Kisho, you answered plenty of questions. Are there some of them you would like to read out for the benefit of everybody you want to highlight?
Uh, so maybe I'll try to summarize several set of questions which are falling in the same premise
Please.
with respect to knowledge base. Um, so there are questions in terms of which vector database we support in knowledge base, which is a native feature in OIC, whether knowledge base is part of OIC or it's outside OIC. So I just want to clarify a few things on this. So starting 2604, right? So we have introduced knowledge base as one of the artifact for you to go and ingest data into OpenSearch cluster using OpenSearch cluster as a vector database and also to retrieve. Right. So today we support OpenSearch cluster, which the customers bring their own OCI OpenSearch cluster. But yeah, we certainly have a few backlogs into supporting other vector databases. But currently, yeah, we started off with abstracting OpenSearch cluster in the knowledge base. So that's and it's part and parcel of OIC. You can pretty much create your search integrations and then register as a tool and have it participate in the agentic agents that you're building, or maybe expose that as an MCP via an MCP server. So
Stan, you had the opportunity to read through some of the questions. Something you would like to add before we continue with the open ones?
I'm still going through these questions, but I think there's lots of questions before around um, the difference between OPA and HITL, which we think we've just answered live, as well as a few more technical questions, which I'm just answering in chat. I'll read one out. Jürgen, what is the maximum time HITL can wait before it expires? So we do have a configurable TTL within HITL. The maximum right now is 90 days. Um, so that's there, but that is configurable, so you can change it to any value up to that threshold.
Cool.
Another one here that's interesting, Jürgen, I'll just take is, can you use an agent to replace a BPM approval workflow? I think that is actually going to be a permanent question in the near future. We do see customers looking at implementing traditional BPM workflows using agentic concepts. And I think what I can say, stay tuned to this space. I think we'll see more and more of this happening in the future. I think the BPMN market is largely shifting to agentic first at the moment.
Okay, next question is from Mohammed. Do we need to build a UI page for a task manager, or is it seeded functionality?
It's seeded functionality. We're using the existing task page to provide that, as well as bringing in approval capabilities via email. And we're looking at other media as well. We've been evaluating other media there too, but email is imminent.
Okay.
That will be the next one that we release.
Purchase order or documented imaging examples available as an accelerator for the agent?
OIC native actions provide the capability to go talk to the pre-trained models of document understanding as well as the custom models. So we have the connectivity established through the native actions.
Yeah, so that's a use case we see quite often, that the customer starts with document imaging and scanning for invoices or purchase orders and use then Oracle integration to feed those agents and also apply governance.
Yeah, they started leveraging the LLM models also, right? So at the same time, right? So yeah, many alternative solutions, I would say, for OCR and scanning related use cases.
Stan, any other question you would like to highlight or you would like to answer?
No, I think we've covered a lot. I see there's one question here around limitation of number of HRTO workflows around concurrency. So we will be shortly updating our documentation with our service limits. So you'll see that soon. I think generally maybe if I can close with a bit of a call to action, Jürgen, or reiterating our call to action. What I would say is I encourage everyone to go and play with these two new technologies. I really do think that they're quite exciting and that they can make a meaningful impact to how you build agents out there for our customers. So give them a try. Give us the feedback from your experience. We'd love to hear it. And I'm really excited about where we can take these two features into the future.
Thank you very much for getting up in the middle of the night and presenting such a wonderful demo. That was awesome. I hope that we will get you pretty soon again on one of the webcasts. If you have questions, you can contact our local team. Neil is our product manager in EMEA, Paulo Mota in South America, Ravi Chaplani, he's on the call, and thank you for answering many questions, is the product manager in North America, Ravi Pinto in India, Steve Tyndall is sitting in Australia, and feel free to reach out also to myself anytime. Make use of the resources. You find the link in the chat. We have the resources organized by customers, partners, and there you can find also a calendar with all upcoming events. So please register for the Agentic AI hands-on partner training, May 5th or 6th. We would like to say thank you for attending today's webcast. Hope to see you there and looking forward to welcome you. And please complete the online survey once you leave the webcast. Thank you. Thank you to the whole team for answering all those questions.